So, hello, and good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whenever it is that you're watching this. Welcome to yet another season of Madcast with me. The last season had a beautiful set of Madcasts, and this season, we are starting with a bang. The topic came up 2 or 3 days ago when I had a question. Not the question stemmed from a very strong feeling which I believe a lot of you will resonate with, which is the feeling or the frequency of hate. I was feeling extremely strong feelings of hate for the Prophet Muhammad, of the founder of Islam. And I had my own reasons for it. And I asked that question that I am the Prophet Muhammad, whatever little stories that I know about him, and whatever I have heard about him through the reels or through the videos, that creates that very strong feeling and sensation of hate that how can someone do this? How can someone just be on a killing spree, take on lands, murder people and then rape women and do all of these things? And some of his followers, not all of his, but some of his followers are still doing, they're still radical, they're very radical in their approach. They want to spread their religion, they want to spread things. So that is where the topic for this particular Madcast came from, which is hate. Even when I'm speaking right now, I can feel that sense of something rising within me. Please enlighten us about what this frequency is all about and how can it I'm feeling that my hand is in like this is not a voluntary motion, it's involuntarily shaking just by me tuning into that frequency and feeling it very strongly.
How beautiful. Okay. Yeah. Wonderful. All right. So let me take it up from here right now as we talk about a particular experience that you are having when you think of, you know, um, a person, a person, and that person, and then you've attributed your hate towards, like, why do you hate him so? Because of everything that he brought up or everything that he taught. And now his followers, some of them, are still continuing to do that. So as we talk about hate, firstly to elaborate a little bit on the topic itself, because we are constantly talking about love. Yeah. And then as we understand ki whatever we give to others, when we begin to look into the energy, when we begin to look into the energy, then and only then we understand that what we give to others is not really even love. It's simply a transaction or the starting of a transaction. I love you. I love you, my daughter. I love you, my wife. I love you so much. It is the starting of a transaction. When you say I love you to your wife, and let us say she never says it back. Yeah, never says it back. Then are you still going to continue on that love spree? Are you going to still say it again and again? No. So that love that we give to somebody is a transaction, saying, I gave to you, so now you give back to me. That's how. With a tiny little baby that is born, oh my God, we want to love them so much, and all of that stuff is happening. But as they grow older, now that entire love is also completely rooted in expectations. No matter what the phase is, but there'll be expectations. I'm your father, you must listen to me. Expectation. Yeah. So as we begin to look at everything, there is a starting of a transaction saying, I love you, so either you must love me back or you should obey me and do things that I like, and you cannot do things to hurt me. And these are all the expectations that we put under the garb of love. Very important to explain this, because this love is the love that we experience on earth, the love that is polar. This is not love looking at the self, this is love looking on the outside. And I love this. And that love comes with expectations and breaking of those expectations. When it breaks, then, the people say a very thin line between love and hate. And they say it from this space only. Because when the expectations break, what will you experience? The opposite of love. The opposite of love. And that is why this polar love that you are transacting in on earth, everything in on earth is this and that. And so when you experience love, you are bound to experience hate. Both of them looking on the outside. Both of them looking on the outside. And from that topic, now we can move to this particular experience of hate that you are talking about. When I hate someone, yeah, and now you've taken whatever stories, and this is so cute how the internet plays out, it's almost like the universe, how it plays out. Whatever you believe in, the universe will give you more of that. Okay? The universe will. So if you believe that you're a completely good for nothing person, the universe will keep sending you more and more of those experiences which are proving to you that you're good for nothing. That's what I always understand about energy. That's what I'm teaching all the time. By look within, whatever you are experiencing right now, that is actually your experience and it's coming from the outside. But how beautiful it is that when you begin to watch certain kind of videos on Facebook, YouTube, the algorithm will push out exactly more of that content, just like the universe. Yeah. So the internet, when you begin to watch something which is all filled with hate for a particular person, for the starter of a religion, well, actually, that was the last, messenger of God. And that is what, there was a religion before that also that they followed. But then this is where, for example, Buddha was born a Hindu. And then he moved on to preach some of his own concepts of whatever he understood about, this whole space of, who we need to be, how we need to live, whatever he understood. And so Buddha wasn't a Buddhist, but the people who followed him were the Buddhists. So now, when we look at a particular religion and we are hating something so much, and then we click on it, we give it more space time, what will the internet do? Find more videos of the same essence and flavor and send that more out to you. Through that, through this tiny little, or rather expanded universe of the internet, what are you growing by watching those videos? You are simply growing more of your hate experience through those. Yeah. And the universe is going on, giving it to them, going on. And you're more and more immersed in the story that was. We have no idea what he was teaching. We have no idea. For example, today I meet so many Buddhists, and much of the Buddhism today is about manifesting. Do this mantra and manifest. Do this mantra and manifest. You think Buddha taught that? That do this mantra and manifest? Or did he teach, just be aware of yourself and let go? If he wanted to manifest, he was already sitting in the kingdom which he left. Did he want to manifest another kingdom again? No. But many Buddhists today will go about, chanting with an outcome in mind. Some people were like, when I needed this, I desperately chanted and chanted this Buddhist mantra, and this happened. And so now I follow Buddha because Buddha has taught me this. No, really not. This is your interpretation of what Buddha was teaching. And mind you, is that interpretation wrong? No, it's not. In your universe, with your energy field, that interpretation is perfect for you. Because you are going through a phase of outer manifestations, looking on the outside, trying to get this and that, you're far removed from that place that you can leave your kingdom and walk away. You are not that person yet. You are still on that journey to be that person. So when he gave up his kingdom and then got enlightened or whatever, he didn't go running back saying, okay, let me manifest another kingdom. He didn't. So from that space, is Buddha's teaching exactly what you are learning today? No. But are his teachings exactly in line with your energy today as to whatever you wish to receive? The universe will give it to you. So you come from a place of lack, and that is when you're like, okay, how can I manifest this? How can I manifest good health? How can I manifest a good house and all of that? And somebody will bring you this. Mind you, while you might manifest, that might be your experience. Yeah, that I chanted this mantra and wow, it manifested. What does it do? It hooks you on. It hooks you on into that space. That is how your energy moves you step by step by step inwards. That's the journey for each one of us to move inwards. But whatever is right for us in that moment, if I was to tell you, oh, yeah, you want to manifest? No, let me just tell you what you need to do. You need to give away your house and something. What will you do? You'll leave me and you will go away because that's not the right place for you at that point. And so you manifest some and you manifest some, and you come to a place of recognizing that, yeah, but manifestations aren't getting me the joy that I was looking for. And then you are ready for the next step. The energy will bring it to you. Why I'm right now talking about Buddhism and not about, another religion? Because in the religion, who who is choosing their religion? A handful of people, just a handful of people who say, okay, I'm done with this religion, I'm going to move to another religion because that is what resonates with me more. But otherwise, how is the religion happening? You're just born into a family, that's it, and you just stay there. Whether you believe in it or not, you just stay there. You call yourself a Hindu. Let me ask you, what all Hindu practices do you do on a daily basis that qualifies you to be that Hindu?
Expressing gratitude to the sun, to the earth, to water, basically honoring life around me. That's one of the practices that I do on a
And you
daily.
think that gratitude is specifically only a Hindu thing?
No, but that's what I was taught, and hence I practice it. And
Perfect. So you were taught gratitude, and you can go and read up the Bible, and 1,000 places you will come up with gratitude for everything. There's so many, places you will find the word gratitude in there. Does that make you a Christian?
no,
Because you're stuck in the family where there is that, right? That is your religion. And it's a stamp on your, on your resume or whatever that you might want to call it, that in this particular life, I was born in this particular household, which worships this form of God, this form of God. And then what does religion do? Every religion finds its own God. Yeah. And then worships a separate God. Separate God. We don't even need to do that. In Hindu culture, we have 33,000 or some such gods. Yeah, the complete separation already. So, is that, you are like, their God is different from mine. But you have 33,000 gods. Which one are you following?
no, I'm not saying that their God and our God. I'm talking about the actions that a certain sect or a certain
Wonderful. All
people
right.
who are.
So, having completed that one, that every religion if you go and go deeper into it, you will find the same conversations, same teachings. Where any religion is going to teach you kindness. Any religion is going to teach you, any religion, the point of starting, not the practice, but the fellow who started it.
Mm.
Okay, you're going to find the same teachings with a different language. That's it. The language changes, the way of expressing changes. For example, in my sessions, I drill down everything to energy. That's the science way of. But do I constrain myself to only talking about science? Because in the science, I'm able to understand faith through science. That is just a frequency. Faith is just a frequency. Anger is just a frequency. But I'm still using science as my religion to explain to you how to understand that which has been explained before using other concepts. Other concepts, So everybody is using a language that they understand, but coming to the same concepts. All right. Now, then you said, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the practices that they have.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fine. So in Hinduism, you have no such practices, right? Of like killing people and all of that, right? You have no practices. Ever heard of Mahabharata?
Yes.
What was that practice coming from? Where was it coming from? From another religion?
No, the war was for justice for what was unjustly done to a certain family, and that's why that happened.
Yeah. So injustice was done on one side. And then, let us say if you say that the injustice was done to Pandavas, I can actually start citing for you many different injustices that they did, laughing at Duryodhan and treating him poorly after calling him home, etc., etc. Yeah. You heard of Ramayana?
Yes.
Yeah. Another religion or your religion only?
Definitely my religion.
Yeah. There was a battle there as well, right?
Yes.
So it's not what you preach, right? You don't preach battle.
No, but
But
we don't go and start the battles.
who started the battle? Now, let's just go to that. Let's get into stories of who started the battle. Who started the battle?
It was initiated by Ravan taking away Sita.
Yes, it was
Then,
initiated then. Okay, let me just ask. The
okay.
battle was Sita was picked away by Ravan, right? Do you know that? What's her name? Surpanakha.
Hmm.
Um, she came to Lakshman to um, express her love for Lakshman.
Hmm.
Do you know what Lakshman did
Chopped off her nose.
when she was expressing her love?
When she was being too pushy expressing her love.
Yeah, in love we become pushy sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she did that. And so it's a just thing that when somebody becomes too pushy about expressing their love, that you are allowed to chop off their nose. Right?
No.
Okay. So then now she goes back with a cut nose to a brother. Yeah.
Hmm.
Now I don't know if you have a brother that you are very much, pushy in your love towards that brother, and you love your family, and somebody's cut off your sister's nose. What will you do?
Whatever it takes to avenge.
So then who started the war?
Surpanakha.
Surpanakha, by
Yes.
expressing love.
Yes.
Yeah, by expressing love.
And having the expectation that my love should be responded with love.
Yes,
Man was
right.
already
See,
married
we
at
already
the
we
time.
already started. So Surpanakha was wrong in expressing her love. That's what you're saying.
No, what I'm saying is her expectation of getting a response from Lakshman
Correct.
was the was
Correct.
misalignment.
Yes, yes. So Lakshman wasn't wrong in cutting off the nose, right?
No, he
Like
was.
if somebody comes and expresses their love and then follows you around for 5 more days saying, "But I really, really love you," then then it's done. It's the done thing to chop off their nose, because you can't reciprocate the love. And then if they've said it 5 times, now they're the right party to be chopped off. The nose should be chopped off, or they themselves should be finished off. No, sounds like a good plan to me, because that's the Hindu religion, where you're saying that no, no, other religions do unjust things, but we don't. I can just keep going on and on with these two stories about how it's all about people killing people, religion out the door. When Pandavas felt they were thrown out of the kingdom, and now they needed to get their kingdom back, or everything, they felt that injustice happened. When Duryodhan, walked in over there and Draupadi laughed at him, he felt injustice happened. Okay. And so it's between people and what now? And what they are feeling.
Yes.
At that point in time, they didn't go with, okay, I'm feeling a lot of anger, but my dharma is Hindu. So that's it. I cannot do this. No, because when you are in the moment with your emotions, the story will play out from your emotions. The story. Yeah. Now, as an outsider, I look at the story and I can quickly judge. For example, you judged Ravan to be wrong. I judged Ram to be wrong. And you can find stories of why he did so and all of that. But if I'm going to judge, I have all my stories in one box to judge Ram as wrong. Yeah. Where Ram, क्या कहते हैं, behind, from the back, killed Bali. He left his wife, जो कि pregnant थी, with not even claiming his children, never being there for his family. Wow, what a hero. Wherever I look, if I want to find wrong things, if I want to give hate to someone, I will give that. So for you, it is a religion on the outside. I can find within my religion. I was born Hindu. I can find 40 things wrong, and not just then. Today, so much of stuff is happening in the name of Hinduism, and I can start judging it as right and wrong. I can keep judging it. And constantly, the universe and the internet will show me exactly the side that I'm on. That, yeah, you're totally right. And here comes the most amazing part of it. Why do we worship Ram? You can see so many faults in him. And we worship that fellow. Why do we worship that fellow? And the reason I didn't understand that reason at all. And it was, when money was still in the body. And then he explained to me that, when God, Ram was Vishnu avatar. Yeah. When God comes down to a human form, yeah, even he will be completely human. Human. This Vishnu avatar was totally human. And so when we worship Ram, we're actually worshiping our humanness, which is filled with right and with wrong. And we can see through it to say, yeah, but through the right and through the wrong, he is God. And then when we begin to understand that about ourselves, through the right and through the wrong, I am that. And so today, all of these stories that I'm giving you about Rama, but I don't sit over there today. I am happy to worship him because I understand that, yeah, I'm not worshiping any other. I'm just worshiping my fault lines. So if he had to go through all of that when in human life, and I have to go through all of this in human life, he is God, and actually so am I. And I'm able to sit in the space of knowing who I am when I'm able to worship Ram. And so today I'm able to worship Ram because Ram is not outside. Yeah. But over the last, I don't know how many years, did I find, I give you all my reasons, right? So did I find enough things to hate about him? Yeah, I did. And then here's the fun part. And as I sat and hate, Mani said, so one time it happened that I was sitting in big hate towards the political system. Okay. The politicians who are constantly inciting and, exploiting. And that came to my notice. And I sat in so much hate towards those people as to how they can do this to the population that has trusted them, the population that has brought them to power. And how can they do this? And Mani says to me, but you are like them only. And I'm like, no way. How am I like a politician who is doing all of this? I mean, they are spreading so much hate and they are exploiting so much people through this hate. And Mani said to me, so do you hate the politician? I said, yeah. You are hating the politician. The politician is hating 5 other things. Both of you are sitting in the energy of hate. How are you different? You're exactly the same. You are the same. So then, when you take a particular religion, the religion being Muslim, okay, and then you hate the fact that those people are so mindlessly doing this and doing that, you are hating them for cultivating and breeding hate. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing that. Then what is the solution? Should I just keep sending them unconditional love? Is
You
that what
can't.
you're saying?
You can't. You cannot send unconditional love to anyone. Here's the story that you got into the story and experienced what?
Hate.
Experienced hate.
Yes.
Yeah. Outside is a world with, I will pick this up from the Hindu religion, with Har Mahadev. Yeah. So everyone is a Shiva of creation. And what are they creating? They are creating. Some are, Shiva is known for destruction. Yeah, he's known for destruction. When I was to tell you today, not talk about Shiva, but let's just say, oh my God, that person is destroying the entire world. Yeah. What would you think of that person? Nicely or not so nicely?
Not at all nicely. I mean, if it's Shiva, then it's a different
No,
story.
no, no. Do not give it the name Shiva. Go by the characteristics of Shiva. Shiva, when in anger, will open his third eye.
Blast. Yeah.
Finished. Yeah, finished. So let us say I get so angry. I get so angry that you come in front of me. I find things to be angry about. I pick up a dagger and I kill you. Yeah, murder it is. Murder it is. Will the world look at me kindly about the murder that I just committed? No.
No.
No. So you're not okay about a murderer, but if the murderer is Shiva, that's okay. Then I just simply bring you to this line saying Shiva is not on the outside. Shiva is each one of us. We are creating. And so some are Shivas of destruction and some are Shivas of creation. And destruction is very much a part of the creation process. When old gets destroyed, and look at you right now, forget anything else. Yeah. As you came last year. Last year you came?
2024.
Yeah.
2 years.
Okay, 2 years. Yeah. That Yayati is largely destroyed right now.
Absolutely.
Right? So when that Yayati got destroyed, a new Yayati happened. And it's in the process of happening. but parts of you are getting destroyed and parts of you are getting created.
Hmm.
And this Yayati is the new creation, but that's the process. Now, this Yayati still has some old stuff that is up for, it's coming up for destroying.
Hmm.
Guess what we are doing today?
A lot of destruction
A
of
lot of destruction
beliefs
of
and mindsets.
limiting beliefs. So, when you then look at the entire world as Har Mahadev, and you're looking at the energy in some places is destroying, and energy in some places is creating. You don't understand why. But when you are looking within, you can actually see, or actually not be completely shaken up by what's happening outside, because you understand this is as per the plan. It's not a plan that you know, it's not even the plan that you like, but it's as per a plan that can only be seen when you sit not in defining, limiting senses, because array, that country is getting destroyed. How is this as per the plan?
And
Because,
whose plan?
yeah, so this is how it is. The universe is all energy.
Hmm.
Yeah. And Earth is the place where we come to experience polarity.
Hmm.
So, whose plan is it? The plan is the energy itself. The plan is the energy itself. And you, with your energy field, take a body form to experience all that is held in the energy. I've spoken about this many times that when you want to experience snow, the best place to go is Switzerland. Yeah, पक्का पता है कि वहां पे तो स्नो हो ही जाएगी. It's a different thing कि आजकल पूना में भी हो रही है hail, but you will not go there. You will go to Himalayas because you know that there is going to be snow over there. When
Hmm.
you want to experience polarity, this and that, sun and sun and night, and moon and stars, and the stars in the light and darkness, when you want to experience both those sides, you'll be like, let's go to the Switzerland of darkness.
It is.
Yeah. So you come to Earth. So if you've come to experience separation, how will the separation happen only if you are constantly feeling oneness with everyone?
Hmm.
That wo bhi energy, wo bhi Mahadev, main bhi Mahadev, the energy of creation and the energy of destruction, that we have a god assigned, that's Mahadev. So going with that, Har Mahadev. But nahi, Har Mahadev, but not counting Christianity. Does it work like that?
No, that's how I'm operating, but it doesn't work like that. I am aware.
I'm so glad that you're aware, because this is the space of separation, and you sat in separation. But for separation to happen, you must find one of those separation frequencies to operate from.
Hmm.
And so you pick up hate, mostly you pick up fear. Yeah. And then from fear, and then you don't really pick up love. I just told you how transactional love is. It's only when you begin to understand the energy that you can actually be in the energy space of love. So you pick up hate, you pick up fear, you pick up anger. Yeah. And anger growing to a point of hate. So you wanted to experience separation. You came to Earth, and then you looked into all of these frequencies, and now that's your energy field. And you're going to experience hate. If everybody is looking like Mahadev, can you even bother to experience hate? You
No.
can't. And so, for you to experience hate, you have to forget that Har Mahadev. And so that is how we come to Earth. We forget that large, expansive self. and we sit with only the recognition of this life, who I am. From this life, who I am, you can experience all of separation. This life, I'm a poor family. I experience separation from the rich people because they have and I have not. If you were already to understand abundance, could you experience that poverty and jealousy? Couldn't. So you had to forget that you are abundance and only sit in that place of this is only me. I have these limited resources. I am a limited body.
Hmm.
And you choose to do this to yourself. But what is happening through each experience, which you don't understand? But what is happening is as you experience, you grow the frequency of the same experience. The same experience. Hate will only give growth to your experience of more hate.
Correct.
Now, let us say you don't like Muslims. Let us just say. When and I laugh at this because I can again start on this and put out a few scenarios for you, like Zakir Hussain, such an amazing tabla player. You really don't like him? No, you love him.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love his music. Yes.
it doesn't even strike you that, oh, he's a Muslim.
No,
Dr.
but according to their, principles, he's actually not a real Muslim because he's practicing music, and that is not allowed in Islam.
But again, you like Shiva, but murderer he is. Yeah.
Hmm.
And in your religion, is he a practicing Hindu if he murders?
No.
But you're liking him. I am calling him a murderer. कामदेव का तो भस्म किया ही उसने, तो वो छोटू बच्चों का भी मर्डर कर दिया.
Correct.
गुस्सा आ गया, कर दिया है. बच्चा is trying to guard the door जहाँ पे पार्वती अंदर गई है. But your religion allows you to worship murderers because you're worshiping Shiva and enjoying that. Yeah, see, that's why I say I can just take you deeper and deeper into it, and you'll give your excuses. No, this one is not Muslim, and that one is not Muslim. But okay, Professor Kalam, the president, what an amazing, amazing man. Yeah.
Yes.
Does it strike to you that he's a Muslim? No, no, he's even not a Muslim because he's not practicing what they teach. You can give that answer for everything. Then even Krishna told Arjun, कुछ नहीं है, ये illusion है. मार दिया कृष्ण ने अर्जुन ने अपने भाइयों को एक लॉर्ड कृष्णा के कहने पे, है ना? तो
Yeah,
और
when it comes to being like acting for justice, yes, why not?
so again, I told you that Kauravas and Pandavas, we can both figure out where the justice is. It's nowhere because the experience, who started it first, the other person could have ended it. Like the Duryodhan felt bad. He could have ended it right there, but he didn't. What did he experience in that moment? He experienced hate towards his brothers,
Hmm.
Pandavas. Yeah. So he experienced hate. And then when he's experiencing hate, he did something from that hate. And then more hate happened from there. And then more hate happened from there, which is exactly what we were just talking about. The hate
Correct.
experience will only give you more and more of the hate experience. That's how it grows. Even from this outside example, one started it, and that's why it's okay to take it to any length. And that's why I'm saying two sides to every story. You
Hmm.
actually have no idea. I'm just being the devil's advocate because I know that I can always take the story point to a bit earlier. Forget this because all the Mahabharata is filled with stories of lives in continuation. So they are not even talking about one life. This one got, irritated a saint, got a shrap, then had to suffer in the next life and he had no clue. But went from hate to hate to hate to more hate. That doesn't change. The frequency of hate will get you more hate. Okay, now, if you do not like, theoretically, if you do not like Muslims, then are all the Muslims impacted by your hate?
No.
Yeah. Are you impacted by your hate?
Absolutely, yes.
Right now, as we started this only, you said, oh my God, my hand is like already like tightening up and all of that. Can you even see that just the triggering, the slightest trigger of this particular frequency
Mm.
has created so much of an outer reaction in you? As you keep growing that, can you imagine what it is doing to you when you sit in it and you sit in it? Right now, just the mention of it did
Mm.
this, and it was visible to you.
Yes.
However, not everything in the body is visible to us, but when we sit in hate frequency, supposedly towards the other, the one that we are impacting the most is the self. But
Mm.
I'm feeling hate. What can I do? I really do hate them people. What can I do? The answer to that is not that, oh, I shouldn't be hating because it's bad for my body. That never happens. Your emotions don't ask you before coming.
Mm.
And hate is an emotion. And when it comes up, it will come up and it will bring a trigger along. Because a trigger is the concept through which you experience the hate. Trigger is the concept through which you experience the hate. And so you experience the hate through that word Muslim. Yeah.
I'm present to one thing that one of my longest time mentor, his name is Yassin Dadabhai. He is a practicing Muslim, but I don't hate him. I love him.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That you are at one, when you want to hate, when you want to hate, his name will not come to you.
Yeah, his name is not coming up.
It won't, because the frequency that you are sitting in is not a Muslim, this, but the entire religion. And
Hmm.
the fellow who that's your trigger.
Yeah.
The trigger is not Dadabai. That's not your trigger. When his name comes up, you will be like, such a
Yeah.
wonderful man. Yeah,
Correct.
because that trigger is towards love.
Hmm.
Or he did so much for me, or he taught me this, etc., etc. Yeah. But when the name Muslim comes up, that's your trigger. And a trigger, mind you, is simply to help you experience the frequency. The trigger has zero meaning. And for all of this time, I've been taking names of Muslims, which we love. I know that you love and I love. And they're not the triggers. Their names aren't the triggers. But I've been taking also names of Hindus which have similar stories attached to them. But they are not the triggers either.
Hmm.
Yeah. A Shiva is not your trigger for hate. And
Right.
that's why when I take the name Shiva, you won't be triggered into hate. Why? Because hate is the frequency that you have a single trigger for, or at least one known trigger for, and which is the word Muslim. The minute word comes Muslim, now you forget all others. And this is not from logic.
Hmm.
You can see that if it was logical, you would be hating every Muslim around.
Correct.
But it is not logic, it is frequency. It is a channel which is available on your energy field, and you tune into that channel via a trigger, via picking up the remote and tuning into that channel. So, as we come to this place of, if I'm going to, what should I do? Should I send energy of love to them? You can't,
Hmm.
because what are you sitting in right now? The hate frequency. So, to recognize that the frequency is hate. In that moment, when you recognize that the frequency is hate and the frequency belongs to you in this moment, but it is just a frequency. It is just as much a frequency as you feel love for somebody. It is as much a frequency that you hate somebody. And it's so cute because sometimes in a relationship, the same person will help you experience both of those.
Hmm.
It happens. However, when you truly want to experience the hate frequency, a trigger will happen to you. A trigger. The word that you have put so much of hate into, you've put the word hate into that word. You've put that. And so now that word needs to come up and you will be in that frequency. So what do I do now? Firstly, whose frequency is it? It's mine. And if it's my frequency, what choices do I have? I can continue to sit in hate and make more of it. Or I can continue to sit in another frequency of my choice and then to create more of that. But the first thing over there is take away the finger from that word and bring it to the frequency. That is the starting point of you beginning to understand what is actually the entire story. The story is on the day that you are tuned into the frequency of hate, news will come in front of you, which will help you experience hate. The day that you are tuned into the frequency of joy, news will happen outside in your life, which will help you experience joy. So when you are tuned into the frequency of hate, outside a story will draw your attention. As the story draws your attention, the first thing is to recognize the story as a story. I purposely went into so many stories because normally I say stories are pointless, but I went into stories to ask you, what do you think of, this battle, and what do you think of that battle? And wherever you said the starting point was, I took it to another starting point.
Mm.
And that makes another story. But that doesn't remove the trigger. The trigger, I can keep rationally saying, no, but they did it because they were actually, going through injustice. When somebody is going through injustice, what do we understand about their scenario? They are experiencing hurt. They are experiencing hurt frequency. And so, what would I now say if I was to meet Duryodhan, who has just come back from the palace? Yeah, I would say, hurt is your frequency there. Take a look at it and release it. And when you are able to release hurt, then it won't trigger you on the outside. When you are able to release hate, it won't trigger you on the outside. So the whole job is on us to be able to see that this is simply just a frequency. If I don't release the frequency, I create more of it. But by now you would have understood hate frequency, if it's taking up 40% of my bandwidth, then more and more, what will the universe bring to me?
The same of whatever I'm holding on to.
There you go. So more hate. Yeah. And then I was talking about it in one of the writing sessions that we did. I was saying that it actually was brought to light by Brian Weiss that when he was doing his past life regression session, that it talks about it in one of his books. I can't remember. He has 4 or 5 books.
Same soul, many bodies, messages from the masters. I have some of them here.
Yeah. So one of the books will actually, probably two, that when he was doing the past life regressions, he found that, they came across lives where they really hated the religion that now they were in. That now they were in. Why did that have to happen? Because you've experienced and put so much of hate in your energy field. Yeah. In this life, you collect, collect, collect. And then you leave this life. And your energetic impression holds that hate. Yeah. And you only got to give. Maybe that's how, the energy was this time, that you got to give, got to give, got to give hate. But it didn't play out. Sometimes it can play out in this very life itself because lives are just a continuum. Death actually has zero meaning. Energy field is where all the masala is. So if you're holding that much hate in you and you've come to another life, what will you get to experience? When that hate comes on, whether in this life or another, when that hate comes on you, at you. So In those lives, how did it play out? They were first the ones to curse that religion, and then they came into the cursed religion to experience those curses from other people. They had to go through the experiences of what they had given to people. चक्का ऐसे घूमता है towards 360 degrees of experiences. Whatever you put out, you receive. That is constantly a play of the energy, because that impression of that frequency is taking up bandwidth in your energy field. So that is why when people say, but I can't let go of my hate, I'm like, okay, that's fine. Don't.
Fine.
Yeah, don't.
Fine.
Give it. It has to happen. It'll happen. It'll happen, because I'm not saying it. I'm not even cursing you कि मेरा श्राप है तुम पे. अरे, that's how energy functions. Because you came here to experience through multitudes of life, you came here to experience separation. But when is all of this going to end? There is only one path, one way to end this. And that is the one way that everybody is coming to. Nobody is going to be left on earth only where they came for a holiday and okay, fine, now there are no flights going back home. That is not going to happen, because everyone is going to constantly keep coming here to experience separation till they have experienced the 360 degrees of that separation. And then what? Then, but just bar aa gaye Switzerland to watch the same snow. I'm done. I no longer wish to watch snow. I'm going to go to the beaches now. So then you stop coming to earth. Because earth ka whatever the experiences are, they're done for you. You've cracked the code. What is the code? The code is bloody oneness. Oneness. And so you say, can I send unconditional, should I be sending unconditional love to them? When you begin to sit in oneness, what you recognize is there is no other. So if there is no other, there is no Muslim either. Yeah. So then, what is it that is happening to you through you? Your experience of hate towards the self is what is coming up to be seen through a trigger word. That's what it is. So the hate doesn't belong to anyone else, it belongs to you. But what parts of yourself do I not like? When you go back to the first line, yeah, they did this and they are taught this and they are doing this and they are doing that. Yeah, all of those parts about you, you hate. Now you might say, but I'm not even doing all of that stuff. Please understand this one line. Life is just this one? No. Energy is a continuum. So you've already experienced, okay, having done all of this, and then sitting in guilt for it and being angry at yourself and hating yourself for it. And that hate for yourself, for who you are or who you were in that life, is what is carried through. I tell people, whenever you are ready to let go of this life and it's your last minute, the energy field stays, doesn't go. But you will be holding that energy field and coming, taking another form and experiencing that. So this time, what are you experiencing? Already, whatever you've done, which you did not approve, when you see it on the outside, it makes you boil, your blood boil. It's the hate towards the self that is coming up to be seen and to be released. Why do you hate yourself so? It's just a frequency. But you're holding that frequency. So now here are the choices. Either you can stop hating yourself or you can continue. So ultimately, if this is who you are hating, then what is the answer to not hating? To send unconditional love to whom?
Myself. the part of me who actually did those things, maybe I can just go back in time and really recall some of the lives where I was the one who was doing these things in the lives. And then going back to those lives, the ones I remember, I don't remember, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that I accept those parts of myself
Yeah.
which are currently being exposed because of some external trigger, because of some stories that I'm seeing, some things that I'm noticing, and just giving love to that part of me. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. But what I'm also saying is, you said maybe you want to go to another life, maybe you want to do another thing. What I'm saying to you in this is the story is not important. To understand that if the hate has come up, it is already existing in a large part of you, taking up that bandwidth. So, what you can do is simply to recognize that hate is a frequency that I'm tuned into, but it's just a frequency. And so
Correct.
now I have a choice whether to be in this frequency or to release this frequency. These are my two choices. And recognizing the trigger word for what it is. It's a trigger word. It pulls you into stories. And I'm saying stories are not important. The trigger word needs to be seen as a trigger word. It is triggering hate in you to grow your hate. Now, would you want to do that and experience more of that? Done that, been there, done that. Come here, hate those people who are still on that journey. You know, Everyone is running the same book at different speeds. And then those people also are going to come up in a different costume another time. They are playing this costume, this role of destruction, but they are also energy, a continuum. Are they going to be only Muslims every life? No. God knows, because I haven't come across a life where I was a Muslim. I have, when I sat, come across lives where I was a Christian. I haven't come across a life where I was a Muslim. However, this is crazy because when I think back, right from school days, yeah, when something happens on the outside, the one thing spontaneously that would come to me would be, Ya Allah. So it's not coming from this life, and nobody's taught it to me. But I hold that impression that I'm remembering Allah when something happens which calls for that kind of reaction. I don't go, Hey Bhagwan. I actually don't go, Hey Bhagwan. I go, Ya Allah. So it means I've been there, done that. Yeah, but no, I'm going to just classify myself into this religion, into this citizenship. Citizenship is just another way of triggering yourself into the word hate, into
Hmm.
the frequency of hate. Citizenship. You'll take three countries and start hating them. Yeah. Are the countries coming to you to say, oh, we're really sorry that you hate us? No. But what are you breeding? Hate frequency. And who will it come for? For you only. Through which life? For how many lives? God knows. But it will come back to you to be experienced fully. First, be the hater, and then be the hated. And then to understand that you are simply a frequency. What frequency are you in right now? I'm in the frequency of hate. Perfect. That's where the answers begin. If you're in the frequency of hate, okay, it's just a frequency. Change it.
Well, then one question that comes up is this particular trigger, it started from the war. I mean, the things that were happening that are happening in Iran, how thousands of the citizens were killed just for expressing their voice and just for expressing their need for being freed from a certain regime. So, are you saying that the ones who were killed, the 15, 20,000, 30,000 young people that were killed for protesting, they were asking for it?
When again, you're looking at life as a one part,
Hmm.
and I've said this many times, and I just said it again,
Yes.
that death is not a word in the energies. because energy is, it cannot be destroyed, it cannot be created, it can be transformed. So somebody went through a death. What is it that hasn't changed with death? Their energy field.
Energy.
So they'll come back again and take another life and complete their journey, because one breath out, which didn't come back in, doesn't mean that their energy got destroyed. Yeah. But as you look at the destruction on the outside, that Shiva, I use the word Shiva now. So that Shiva who created the destruction for them, and these Shivas whose energies complied with this plan. Yeah. As you're looking at all of this play on the outside, what is it that you are feeling? Answer lies there. Because when I sit and look at all of this news, yeah, what do I feel? There was a Krishna in the middle of the war who wasn't perturbed by the war. Why? Because he could see through the illusion of brothers and young and death and all of that stuff, could see through the illusion. As a matter of fact, I think I was reading someplace, long time ago. I'm not much into mythology. Whatever I understand, money gives me all my understandings with that little bit only. I don't get into, story after story, because story. But there was this one time ago that I was reading that actually Krishna belongs to this, the clan. I think it was Yadav. The Krishna clan was Yadav clan. And then Krishna was cursed by,
Duryodhana's mother.
yeah,
Kaurav
by the
mother.
mother, yeah, the Kaurav's mother, right? Your clan will go through the same stuff, yeah, and brothers will kill brothers, and that is how your clan will be destroyed. Apparently, when this started happening, when it happened, and then Krishna recognized that the curse was um, playing out, and his own clan was killing, their brothers were killing brothers. I think I read at that time, which I couldn't understand at all. Knowing that the curse was playing out, he went ahead and killed his own clan people. He did. But how could he do that, his own clan? Because at all times, Krishna was not getting into the story, could see the creation and the destruction as part of the same process
Hmm.
without any judgment of his own actions. Why would you not judge your actions? Because you can already see the illusion of it. So there was a Krishna in the middle of the battlefield who continued to be Krishna. But when you sit into this story and that story, are you able to take a step back and come into the space of everything is energy? Or are you so deeply engaged in the story that you will create 30 other emotions from it? Mind you, both are good. The universe is working on these emotions, the earth is working on these emotions, and you're simply helping earth create more frequencies of hate.
I'm contributing to the business of Earth.
You are. And yet, when your journey, you can contribute to Switzerland's economy. But when you are bored of the snow, you
Yes.
just keep going there because you want to contribute to Switzerland's economy.
No.
Yeah. So this is, and then I'll just circle back on this one point that I made very lightly right in the beginning. It's not about religion. All of us, each one of us, irrespective of the religion that we are in today or the religions we have traveled through, all of us experience frequencies, including the frequency of hate. And so hate is not a particular religion ki, dharohar, that, oh, this is the wealth of this religion and only they spread hate around. Every individual at their own level will go through experience of hate. Every one of you, every one of me. Because we are on earth to experience, we will experience. It might not be in those levels of, oh, I totally hate this and I wish death upon this one. But Sometimes, when we are so angry, we will think that, like, that person has created so much of trauma in my life. I really wish death upon him. Yeah. Now, does that person die from our curse? No, they don't. But what have we done for ourselves? Created
Create
more
more
of
of
it. Created more of hate by experiencing more of hate. And as somebody would say it, I think it is the Jain Dharam, which says, if you've thunk it, as in if you've thought of it, you've done it. So if you've ever even thought that, oh my God, I could murder that person, then you've done it. क्योंकि तुमने तो एनर्जी में कर दिया, उसके पास भेज दी वो एनर्जी वाली वाइब्स उसको, जिसमें यू कुड जस्ट टोटली किल द पर्सन, एंड सो यू डन इट. But here is the thing, that through that doing, or through that imagining, or through that thinking, you are simply growing the same frequency for yourself, the frequency of hate. And as everything on the planet Earth works like that, वो जो Australian वो क्या होता है, that fun thing that you throw out and it comes right back at you. What is that?
I'm able to
Yeah,
visualize
yeah,
it.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, I know that.
The boomerang.
The boomerang.
Boomerang.
The boomerang. Yeah.
The universe's frequencies are all about boomeranging, and so is this. So now you can continue processing this. Will it? Now, here's the fun part. Will it go away and never come back? Arey, it's just a frequency.
Hmm.
So you think about it today and you process so much of it, it'll come back tomorrow. Then what do? Oh my
Again,
God, see how much hate I process, but see, these people are like never coming to an end. These bloody, this religion only is crap. If you are doing that, then where has the finger with the third episode? Where has the finger gone again to the outside?
out.
And then what will bring it inside? Awareness. Only awareness. And awareness can only come from that one question: what am I feeling? तो जितनी बार आए उसको प्रोसेस करो. अच्छा, आज हेट आ गई क्या? So I was giving this example to people on the group when we were talking about this. I said, when hate comes to me, and it'll, like, I'll be in a rage that why hasn't this happened, or how could you do this, and flying in a rage and like totally hating the person and the event and everything. And I will act from that scenario. There is no problem in playing out in hate. Hate is not a bad thing. It's just a frequency. It's just a frequency. But every frequency has its own effects. So in your frequency of hate, immediately the hand kind of got sensation. Every frequency. When you are feeling joy, it's a different experience. And it's the frequency of joy. Brings you a different program. Hate brings you a different program, different experiences, but it's just a frequency. So when I go through hate frequency, and then let us say after 10 minutes, I realize that, arey, kya hi to hate mein khel rahe hain aaj? And then I'll be like, okay, let me sit down and right now in this moment, make a list of all the people that I hate. Yeah. Can you believe it? But in that moment, because I'm sitting in the frequency of hate, the first name that comes up is money. Because हर चीज मेरे तो मणि है. हर चीज मणि तो है. ये भी मणि है, वो भी मणि है, एक्सपीरियंस भी मणि है, मैं भी मणि हूँ, सामने वाला भी मणि है, सब मणि है. So then who do I hate? Money only. Then I will sit down and then start writing, saying, अच्छा, I hate that bloody fellow who didn't do this, that money. And then so हर नाम के आगे मैं मणि जोड़ देती हूँ. By the time the sixth name of hate comes through, I'm already laughing at, अच्छा, अब ये ऐसा करती हूँ, बैठ के पूरी दुनिया का नाम लिख देती हूँ यहाँ पे, इसको क्यों हेट कर, जबरदस्ती. 5 names will appear for no reason, because a reason is not needed. It's just a frequency.
In fact, after the discussion on our group, I realized that the feeling that I get when I'm in the hate frequency, no matter what the trigger is, whether a certain religion is a trigger, or a person not following the traffic light is a trigger, or a brinjal is a trigger, the feeling was the same. I recognized that. And I was able to see that, acha, this is not about, I mean, I wasn't able to come to such clarity about it at that point of time.
Yeah.
But I did see that the hate which I feel when I see that reel about a certain set of people doing certain things, and the hate and rage that I feel when someone does not follow the traffic light or cuts on the road, and the hate that I feel when the brinjal sabji is made, the essence of it all is the same.
See, and that's exactly the point that I'm making, that
Yeah.
hate is just a frequency. And tomorrow, when you're able to love everything, will hate come? Yeah, it'll come.
Hmm.
It will come. And when it comes again, either you can be angry at the brinjal, like, where is this stupid vegetable coming from? Oh, I love that you hate eggplant. Uh, the next time you come, you're going to have eggplant at my house.
Yeah, but then I'll have the choice.
No, as a matter of fact, it's so fun. You won't even know kaun si dish mein hai. So many of my cousins don't eat eggplant because they don't like it. And it was so funny because I didn't know that they didn't like it. And I made Italian dish, eggplant parmesan. And they were eating it and saying, kya banaya hai? I was like, बैंगन hai. And they're like, पर मैं तो बैंगन खाता ही नहीं. आज से तीसरी helping तो ले रहे हो. The hate can be in any form for
Hmm.
anything, and it's okay. Just look at it to see it's a trigger word. From what trigger are you coming in right now? And then you'll be able to process it. If you put the finger outside, you will not be able to process it. Yeah?
Oh,
All good?
yes. I think we are good. I asked all the questions that everyone had, and you answered all the questions that everyone could ask.
Yes, actually, it is like that. Thank you, Yeti, for bringing up this. I mean, Ma, you're so tangible, and it's a good fortune that you are there in our energy. I really give you tons and tons of gratitude.
How beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ma. So
Thank
tangible, so pure in the sense ki when I listen to your webinars, and you say work has come on you, and ye, so I really feel ki this is the greatness. This is in my energy that I attracted a guru like you. You don't even say call me a guru or anything, but yet वो इतना प्यार आपके लिए आता है माँ. Thank you so much.
How beautiful. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you. And how beautiful is this that when you give love like this, I don't have expectations and you don't have expectations. And so, who and what is being exchanged in this scenario? This is what unconditional love looks like.
Yes, ma.
How beautiful.
And this webinar is really beautiful, close to my heart also, because from childhood I studied in a Christian boarding school, prayed to Jesus all my life. My mother, an ardent bhakt of Sai Baba, she would take us to Shirdi because Deblali comes on the way. School was in Deblali. वहां आरती चल रही है, हम छोटे बच्चों को नींद आ रही है. She would give us one whack from the back and say, "Pay attention there." And इतने questions in my heart. And then I got married into this Hindu family जहाँ संतोषी माँ का व्रत करते, ये करते. Nothing was resonating with me, ma. Nothing. And I said, ये भी नहीं जम रहा, वो भी नहीं. Then Nichiren Daishnen's Buddhism, you spoke about Buddhism just now, Namyo Renge Kyo chanting. I did it. I saw wonderful, wonderful experiences. But when the finger started pointing out, and that's the time you came into my life. And
How,
I said, no, oh my God, I'm getting goosies, ma. वो
how
क्या
beautiful.
ही, what you changed my life, no, ma, I can't tell you. कि that play of energy now I understand. And when I was doing my EM, I was telling you, I was crying and I was saying, you're not understanding, Ma, I'm going through this. I'm going through this. And today I think, क्या कर रही थी? माँ को ऐसे बोल रही थी, but yeah.
See, that was your truth then. And then again, we say, don't judge your journeys because all of us are going there. Even when
Yeah.
I talked about Yayati, and when Yayati came to me 2 years ago, he was such a different person. And then today, he's such a different person and still on the way to destructing some more of his current self and becoming even more unconditionally loving towards his own self.
Yes.
How
Absolutely, Ma. Thank you.
what
Thank you so much, Ma. Gratitude to you. Thank you. Thank you,
wonderful.
Yayati, for asking this question. So many of us had so many things in our heart, but yes, thank you to you.
Well, that's what this space of Madcast is all about. I think this is actually a manifestation of an intent which I had that when my guru, before I met me, which I know is the same person, I mean, the same energy in different forms. Now I understand that. Previously, I was able to कि ये पर ये अलग है और ये अलग है. So now I have that understanding, and it's coming from a space of knowing and not just mentally kind of seeing that.
Yes, yes.
तब का मेरा इंटेंट था कि मेरे गुरु भाई थे नीरज भाई ही यूज्ड टू कंडक्ट दीज webinars just like in this format. People would come on the webinar and he would ask the question and then Guruji would answer. And तब मेरे को फीलिंग हुआ कि अरे यार मैं तो नहीं कर पाया एंड सही में करना था दिल से करना था.
How
Now
beautiful.
after recording 3 or 4 Madcast episodes, I suddenly had the realization that this is exactly what I wanted.
How beautiful.
A podcast or a conversation with my guru. And I'm doing that right now. And it's happening without me consciously asking for it. It's happening in grace, it's happening in flow. और हो गया तब मुझे रियलाइज हुआ कि ये हो रहा है. So
The
gratitude
giving
is
universe, the giving universe. What
yes.
will it give? You asked in pure, like, sitting and feeling so much love for the guru, and you asked in that, "Arey, ye main nahi kar paya." And so
हाँ, हाँ.
the universe is listening at all times. But just as it is listening to love, it is also listening to hate.
अरे जब आपने वो लाइन बोली ना कि either you can choose to observe that you're feeling this or you'll come back as them, तब तो फट के हाथ में आ गई मेरे.
करेक्ट. मैंने इसीलिए बोली.
कि ना भाई जो करना है अभी प्रोसेस कर लेते हैं, ये ईज एंड ग्रेस का रास्ता सही है. और उसके पीछे भी जो फियर था वो भी मैंने देख लिया.
How beautiful.
So thank you so much everyone for tuning in, and thank you me for like always being so loving and straight and to the point and speaking in a language that we all can connect to and really help look within and not keep pointing the fingers outside, because I came in with pointing fingers at a certain person, religion, group of people. But now I see that it's not about them. They are just the trigger. The work is on me and only I have to do it. And we have the easiest way of doing that work through the EM program that you have so lovingly taught. And you've made our journey so much more easier. So thanks, many, 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 many thanks to you for being there, for choosing to come in this form and being so available for all of us,
How beautiful.
such that we can continue or we can remember our we can take that those little footsteps towards remembering who we truly are. Thank you for being so loving and patient with all of us. I say thanks on behalf of the entire MPFI family, past, present, and future.
Lots and lots of love. Money, 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 money. Thanks to all of you.
Yes.